Welcome to our channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in everyday change. Rare and valuable state quarters may look ordinary at first glance, but some have become collectors' dreams, turning pocket change into small fortunes. Make sure to watch till the end, you might just discover that one of these rare quarters could already be in your collection. Let's start with a coin that holds a very important place in modern American coin collecting. When we look back at the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint was preparing to introduce something completely new, something that would capture attention across the country and bring millions of new people into the hobby of coin collecting. That moment came in 1999, and the coin that marked the beginning of this journey was the Delaware State Quarter. To set the stage, remember what quarters looked like before 1999. For decades, the reverse side of the quarter featured the familiar bald eagle design. It was classic, but it never changed, and after years of the same design, people rarely looked twice at a quarter. Then, everything shifted with the State Quarters program. This program was designed to release 5 different quarters each year, one for every state, in the order they entered the Union. It was the first time everyday coins would carry rotating designs that celebrated history, culture, and identity. And leading it all, as the very first issue, was Delaware. Known as the first state because it was the first to ratify the U.S. Constitution, Delaware's place at the start of the series was fitting. Its quarter instantly became a symbol of both state pride and national history. The design on the Delaware quarter is simple but powerful. On the reverse side, you'll see Caesar Rodney on horseback, captured mid-ride. This design honors Rodney's long journey in 1776 when he rode through rain and illness to cast his vote for independence. His vote proved critical in supporting the Declaration of Independence. By placing Rodney on the quarter, the Mint chose a design that connected not just to Delaware's past, but to the larger story of American freedom. For collectors and history enthusiasts alike, it made the coin meaningful in a way ordinary quarters never were. On the obverse side, the coin carries the profile of George Washington, based on John Flanagan design first used in 1932. The design was slightly modified to fit with the new program, but Washington's presence tied the old to the new. Suddenly, a coin that had looked the same for decades was refreshed, and the public noticed right away. Collectors were quick to recognize the importance of this first release. Families began checking their pocket change, pulling out Delaware quarters, and starting collections. Some people saved rolls straight from the bank, while others carefully placed individual coins into holders. For many, the Delaware quarter became their very first collectible coin. The Mint struck the Delaware quarter at both Philadelphia and Denver, with mint marks P and D. Proof versions were also produced in San Francisco, both in clad and silver, which were aimed at collectors. In total, millions of Delaware quarters were made, but like with all coins, not every example was equal in quality. Some coins left the Mint with errors, striking mistakes, off-center designs, or doubled features that made them unusual and desirable to specialists. Others were perfectly struck and carefully preserved, and those coins have since become standouts in the hobby. What made the Delaware quarter even more significant was its role as the very first coin of the State Quarters program. Without question, this program is remembered as one of the most successful coin initiatives in U.S. history. It sparked a nationwide interest in collecting, brought in millions of new hobbyists, and created excitement around coins in a way that hadn't been seen for generations. And it all started with Delaware. That sense of first gives the coin lasting importance. For most people, a Delaware quarter is simply a piece of pocket change worth 25 cents. But collectors understand that condition is everything. A circulated quarter from 1999 is common, but a coin in flawless condition, what collectors call mint state or even higher, can be worth a great deal. Add in the possibility of a rare error variety, and the value increases even more. Think about how many Delaware quarters passed through hands over the years, and then think about how few survived untouched, unmarked, and pristine. Those are the coins that stand out now. When submitted to grading services and given top grades, they become rare treasures. Collectors compete for them because they represent the very best of the very first state quarter release. This is what makes the Delaware quarter such an interesting coin to talk about. It's both ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. Ordinary, because millions were made and most are still out there in circulation. Extraordinary, because the best examples or error varieties can bring serious attention from collectors and achieve values far beyond their face value. And this brings us to the highlight. Among the finest known examples, one 1999 Delaware State Quarter, graded at the top level and preserved in exceptional condition, was sold for an amount that surprised many collectors. That coin reached an impressive total of $62,000. Next up, we have a coin that highlights the smallest state in the nation, but one with a big story to tell. The 2001 Rhode Island State Quarter is a perfect example of how the State Quarters program managed to capture the identity of each state in just a few simple details. Released during the early years of the program, this coin quickly stood out for its elegance and its strong connection to the sea, a theme that fits Rhode Island perfectly. Rhode Island may be small in size, but its nickname, the Ocean State, reflects its huge role in maritime history. With over 400 miles of coastline, sailing and shipbuilding have always been central to its culture. The Mint chose to highlight this legacy in a design that is both simple and meaningful. On the reverse of the coin, a sailboat glides across Narragansett Bay, a view that captures the peaceful but powerful spirit of the ocean. In the background stands the Pell Bridge, a recognizable landmark that connects Newport to Jamestown. Together, the sailboat and bridge symbolize both the state's tradition and its modern identity. The front of the coin, like every state quarter, features the trusted profile of George Washington. This portrait has been a fixture on U.S. quarters since 1932, originally sculpted by John Flanagan. By keeping Washington on one side and adding the state design to the other, the Mint created coins that felt both familiar and fresh at the same time. When the Rhode Island Quarter was released in 2001, excitement around the program was still strong. Families were collecting quarters together, children were searching through change, and people everywhere were eager to see which state would come next. For Rhode Island, it meant that its culture and identity were suddenly being carried across the entire country in pockets and purses. A small state with a big maritime past was now being honored in a way that everyone could see. The Rhode Island Quarter was minted in large numbers at Philadelphia and Denver, with mint marks P and D. Special proof versions, with sharper detail and mirror-like finishes, were struck in San Francisco and both clad in silver. Most of the millions made went straight into circulation, where they picked up scratches, marks, and wear. But some were saved right away, untouched and kept in brilliant condition, and those are the coins that matter most to collectors today. Like many state quarters, Rhode Island's issue also saw a small number of mint errors. Some coins were struck off-center, while others showed doubling or other small imperfections. These errors are rare, but for collectors, they turn an already interesting coin into something unique and worth chasing. Beyond its technical details, the Rhode Island Quarter tells a story. Sailing has been a way of life for the state since its earliest days, and Narragansett Bay has played a role in everything from commerce to recreation. The choice of the sailboat on this coin wasn't just decorative, it reflected the very heart of Rhode Island's history. The Pell Bridge added a modern touch, showing how the state's past and present are connected by the waters that surround it. For residents of Rhode Island, this coin became more than just a piece of change. It was a symbol of home, a reminder of their state's heritage and beauty. For collectors nationwide, it was a design that stood out in the growing lineup of state quarters. Its clean lines and maritime theme made it easy to appreciate, and even today, it remains one of the more admired designs in the series. Of course, the real difference comes down to condition. Circulated examples of the Rhode Island Quarter are common and will always be worth 25 cents. But those that survived in pristine, flawless quality tell a different story. These top-grade examples, often submitted to grading services and given the highest ratings, are the coins that stand out. Collectors know how few survive in that kind of condition, and that scarcity is what drives interest and demand. Over 2 decades after its release, the Rhode Island State Quarter is still a favorite among many. It captures a state's identity with clarity, it represents the excitement of the State Quarters program, and it shows how a coin can connect people to both history and place. And for those rare examples in the very best condition, the rewards have been truly impressive. One of the finest known Rhode Island quarters, preserved with absolutely no flaws and recognized at the highest grade, reached an incredible figure when it was sold. That single coin brought in a total of $58,000. Moments like these are what keep collectors searching through their change. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's a reminder that treasures can be found in the most ordinary places. This Rhode Island quarter proves that even a coin as modern and familiar as one from the State Quarter series can reach such impressive heights. So, the next time you come across a Rhode Island quarter, take a closer look. It may just be one of those rare examples that carries far more than its face value. After all, the coin we just explored shows that something as simple as 25 cents can turn into $58,000, making it a piece well worth keeping an eye out for. And who knows, perhaps the next Rhode Island quarter you see could be the one that adds a remarkable chapter to your own story. That's the magic of coin collecting, ordinary coins with extraordinary potential, just waiting to be discovered. The next rare treasure we'll be looking at is a coin that celebrates both American history and the journey of a great leader. This is the 2003 Illinois State Quarter, a coin that at first glance might look like just another piece of change, but upon closer inspection reveals a story full of symbolism, heritage, and incredible rarity. When it entered circulation, most people saw it as just another quarter in the State Quarter series, but to collectors, it quickly became something much more significant. Illinois, known as the Land of Lincoln, played a central role in shaping America's history. The quarter design reflects this legacy beautifully. At the center stands a young Abraham Lincoln, walking with a book in hand, symbolizing both his humble beginnings and his lifelong commitment to learning. The image serves as a reminder of how Lincoln rose from a modest farm boy to one of the greatest leaders in U.S. history. This is not just a coin, it's a miniature tribute to perseverance, growth, and leadership. But Lincoln isn't the only story the coin tells. In the background, you'll notice a detailed outline of the state of Illinois, reminding us of its significance as the birthplace of a president who changed the course of the nation. Surrounding the state are 21 stars, each representing Illinois' entry as the 21st state in the Union back in 1818. This small detail gives the coin an added layer of historical depth, blending state pride with national history in a way that collectors find incredibly meaningful. Now, most people who handled this quarter when it was first released in 2003 may have never paid attention to these details. To them, it was simply another coin to spend at the store, drop in a vending machine, or set aside in a jar. But to the keen eye of a collector, the Illinois quarter stood out for its design, its symbolism, and eventually, its scarcity in certain conditions. That's where the story of this coin takes an exciting turn. Not every Illinois quarter is considered rare. Millions were minted for circulation, and those common examples are still floating around today, worth just their face value. What sets apart the rarest examples are their condition and the striking quality of the minting. Coins that were struck with precision, showing every fine line in Lincoln's clothing, every star sharp and defined, and every outline of Illinois crisp and clean, are the ones that have drawn the most attention. Think of it this way, the difference between a regular Illinois quarter and a highly collectible one comes down to perfection. While most quarters will have tiny scratches, dull luster, or circulation wear, the rare examples remain in pristine, almost flawless condition. These are the coins that collectors dream about, because they tell a story not only of history but also of survival against time, handling, and circulation. Over the years, the Illinois State Quarter has earned a reputation as one of the standouts in the entire State Quarter program. Collectors were already intrigued by its design, but as more high-grade examples surfaced in private collections and grading companies began certifying them, it became clear that this was not just another state quarter. This was a piece with the potential to capture both hearts and wallets. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand. You'd not only be holding a symbol of Illinois and Lincoln's legacy but also a piece of modern treasure that has the power to amaze collectors around the world. The shine, the sharpness, the sheer beauty of it in top condition would instantly set it apart from an ordinary quarter. That's the magic that fuels the passion of coin collecting, finding something extraordinary in what most would call ordinary. The rarity of the Illinois quarter in top condition is what has made it so valuable today. Collectors are constantly searching for these gems, hoping to add one to their collections, knowing that only a limited number exist in such pristine quality. The competition is fierce, and as demand grows, the excitement surrounding this coin only continues to rise. And here's where the story becomes truly remarkable. While countless Illinois quarters remain in circulation worth only 25 cents, the rarest examples, the ones preserved in immaculate condition, have reached heights that few could have imagined. These special coins have proven that even something as familiar as a state quarter can turn into a collector's dream. After all this build-up, you may be wondering just how far such a coin can go in terms of value. The answer is nothing short of stunning. A rare 2003 Illinois state quarter, in the highest possible condition, has been sold for an astonishing $54,000. Yes, that's right, what began as just 25 cents in your pocket transformed into $54,000 in the hands of a lucky collector. Moments like this are what make coin collecting such an exciting journey. It proves that treasures don't always come from ancient times or from rare metals, they can be hiding in the very coins we use every day. The Illinois quarter is a shining example of how history, design, and rarity can come together to create something truly extraordinary. So, the next time you spot a 2003 Illinois state quarter, take a moment to look a little closer. You never know, yours might just be one of those exceptional examples, a small piece of history that carries with it the chance of becoming a life-changing discovery. And with a coin like this reaching a value of $54,000, it's clear that sometimes, the most incredible treasures are hiding in plain sight. Now let's move on to a quarter that not only represents a remarkable piece of American history but also stands as a perfect reminder of how even the most modern coins can turn into something extraordinary. This is the 2016 state quarter from the Cumberland Gap, a coin that captures one of the most important frontiers in early American history. At first glance, it looks like just another quarter you might find in your pocket change, but for those who know what to look for, this coin is far from ordinary. It tells a story of exploration, determination, and hidden value. The Cumberland Gap is often called the first doorway to the West. For early pioneers, settlers, and explorers, this mountain pass was the route that opened opportunities, new lands, and endless possibilities. On the 2016 quarter, this history comes alive in striking detail. The design features a frontiersman, rifle in hand, gazing westward toward the lands that so many Americans dreamed of reaching. Alongside him are the words, "First Doorway to the West," a reminder of the courage it took to step into the unknown. Every time you look at this coin, you're not just looking at metal, you're looking at a tiny monument to American resilience and ambition. The artistry is powerful in its simplicity. The figure of the pioneer dominates the reverse side of the coin, representing generations who risked everything for a better life beyond the mountains. The careful detail in the clothing, the stance, and even the rugged outline of the horizon draws you into that pivotal moment in history. And yet, this piece isn't just about history. For collectors, the Cumberland Gap quarter is part of the beloved America the Beautiful series, and every coin in that collection holds its own sense of pride. But this one, minted in 2016, carries a special story of rarity that has made it unforgettable for those lucky enough to own it. When it was first released, millions of people used this quarter without ever stopping to notice its design. Most coins like it were tossed into jars, slipped into vending machines, or exchanged without a second thought. But among these countless coins, a few special ones stood apart, struck with unusual clarity, preserved in pristine condition, or holding tiny minting quirks that made them instantly more desirable. It's these rare survivors that today command the attention of collectors around the world. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced large quantities of the 2016 Cumberland Gap quarter, but perfection is rare. Finding one with flawless details, untouched surfaces, and no signs of wear is a challenge. This is where the excitement of coin hunting comes in, and the possibility that tucked inside an ordinary roll of quarters or hidden in pocket change, one of these rarities could be waiting to be discovered. Imagine the thrill of realizing that the coin you just spotted is worth far more than 25 cents. Over time, collectors and experts have studied this quarter closely, searching for those few examples that rise above the rest. And as demand grows, so does the fascination with owning a coin that not only represents history but also holds financial weight. People often underestimate how quickly modern coins can turn into treasures, but the Cumberland Gap quarter is living proof. It shows that sometimes the newest coins can be just as exciting as pieces minted a century ago. Every discovery adds a new chapter to the story of American coinage. The story of this coin doesn't end with its design or even with its role in the America the Beautiful series. What makes it especially captivating is its unexpected leap in value. Most people will never even notice it, but those who understand its significance know just how rare and important it can be. And here's the incredible part: in top condition, one of these 2016 Cumberland Gap quarters has been sold for an astonishing sum, While it started life as just a piece of pocket change worth 25 cents, in today's collector market, it has been valued as high as $39,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, a modern quarter, something you might have used at a parking meter or soda machine, has reached a staggering worth of $39,000. It's hard to believe, but it's the kind of discovery that reminds us why coin collecting continues to inspire people around the world. Coins like this show us that history, art, and value can all fit into the palm of your hand. That's the beauty of it, the ordinary becomes extraordinary when time, condition, and rarity come together. And what makes it even more exciting is that these coins could still be out there. Somewhere in circulation, perhaps in a jar on someone's shelf or in a forgotten roll of quarters at the bank, there could be another Cumberland Gap quarter in perfect condition, waiting to be recognized for what it truly is, a hidden treasure. That's the magic of this hobby, the chance that you, too, could be the next person to uncover one. Every coin is a mystery until you take the time to look closely. So the next time you're holding your change, take a closer look. Because if you happen to spot a Cumberland Gap quarter, don't just pass it along. Look carefully. Who knows? You might just be staring at a piece of history that carries a story, a legacy, and an unbelievable fortune all at once. Thank you so much for watching and exploring this incredible story with us. If you enjoyed learning about this rare and valuable coin, make sure to hit the like button and share it with other collectors and history lovers. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing coin discoveries and hidden treasures from American history. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next rare find. Until then, keep checking your change, you never know what treasure might be in your hands.